like 11 at night in here, but I think it's pretty early in New Zealand, and we have the pleasure to talk to Lewis and Henry from Alien Weaponry. Welcome, guys.
What's up?
How are you? How is your coffee? How is your morning coffee?
It's good.
Mine was strong, very strong. So
Well, you needed a strong coffee to be awakened at 8:30 there, right?
yeah, well, I work in a bar a lot of the time, so I'm used to waking up at like midday to go to my
Ooh.
job.
Okay, so you're having the late life.
Yeah, yeah, and then Lewis is kind of the opposite. He's generally up at 5 a.m. doing
Yeah,
his
I mean,
work. So
massive, massive, massive respect for you, Lewis, for waking up every single day before 6 a.m. when the rest of the world is sleeping. See it this way, you're like the first one moving the world, yeah? By going to work first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do it by choice.
Well, then make Alien Weaponry super mega ultra successful. Make it like the second Metallica, and then you will have a choice.
There we go. That's
that's
our
always been
plan.
the plan. Yeah.
That's the aim. That's the end of the road. That's the goal, guys. Good, good. So thank you so much for making time to talk to EMP Spain today. And as you know, like we are completely separated by miles and miles and miles of distance. So like I feel that everyone in sees here like New Zealand like that corner country where we only know that Lord of the Ring was recorded and the Haka. And guys, you brought one of that to us with your music and with the Haka. So
Yeah,
kind of nobody kind of associates a little bit like the metal to New Zealand, and I feel that you guys are kind of changing that up. I feel like you kind guys are like the representative. So I would like to go back to the early age of Alien Weaponry because yeah, you've got one record out. The next one is coming up very very soon, just in a few days. But what's the creation, the origins of the band? Because you've been together, guys, like in a band, talking as a band, like at least 10 years, right?
yeah, probably.
Just getting on 11 now, actually.
Yeah,
Almost 12. It'll be 12 years next year. So, I mean, we started just playing in our lounge in Auckland. It was just Lewis and I. And it was mostly we'd written a song and we mostly came up with the name and everything because a family friend of ours, who was a photographer, wanted to try out shooting some video stuff and make a little video and cut it together. Um, so she came around and we played the song that we'd written.
it's kind of half
Which
written.
was yeah, it was the horrible first song of Alien Weaponry, which I don't think I'll
Horrible.
name.
Because it's still out there. But yeah,
It's still out there, but people can
Ooh.
definitely find it if they do some digging.
yeah,
But yeah, like that's really how we started. She shot this tiny little music video for us, and we we didn't really get serious until we moved up to Waipu, which is where we are currently, and started entering something called Rock Quest. So it's like a school band age competition. So
Hmm.
it started entering that, and then a couple of years later, we decided we were going to start running in Māori, so we could enter this competition that ran alongside it called Pacifica Beats, where you're going to be incorporating your native language or your culture somehow,
So that's how it
and that's
started.
kind of where everything started.
pardon?
So that's how it started. Like that's the reason why you
Mm,
started incorporating the Maori because of
yeah,
like
yeah,
wow. Well, that I didn't know. I must say that I didn't know. So that's fantastic. And now,
Yeah, I
guys,
mean, when we first did it, we didn't really, I guess, even think about what the potential reception could be. I mean, to be honest, I thought people probably wouldn't get it, but just the opposite happened, and everyone, you know, seemed to love it. So we just, yeah, we kept doing it that way, and it's worked pretty well.
It's worked pretty well, and I would say that that distinguishes you guys. Like,
Yeah,
who else
definitely.
do you know? And well, maybe you don't count in this game because if I ask you who else do you know that sings in Maori, maybe you can give me a few names. But if you come over here, I'm pretty sure that no one is going to give me another name apart from yours. So well done.
Well, Maori mixed with metal, I think, is the one that doesn't really exist. I mean, there are heaps of bands in New Zealand here that write and sing in Te Reo Māori, but they're mostly like soul, R&B, reggae,
Okay.
a bit more chill music, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think it's a good thing that you incorporate it into metal because it really, I think it really fits, especially when Henry like comes out doing the hacker. So that's like an opening, you know, that's an opening of, hey guys, this is what it's gonna happen. This is what you're gonna get during this show. So I think it's kind of great, guys, and it has worked super super well. But I would like to know, how have you invested your time during the shitty times that we have all experienced? We had a change of member in the band, so I guess that that was like kind of a transition during this time. And part of this time maybe was invested also in the new record. What have you guys been doing for the past year and a half, I would say?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess going back to like the start of 2020, we had pretty big plans for going overseas and playing some festivals and pretty much all over Europe. And obviously those plans were all kind of ruined by COVID, but that's given us a chance to really fine tune the new record. And I think we've kind of evolved from the last record. You know, we've kind of the way we write, we kind of think about, you know, the structure a lot more. We think about, you know, how it's going to go down live. And I think in general, this record's much more progressive than the last one.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as that member is concerned, we had Ethan tell us it was probably just after we'd come back from the last tour we did overseas. He was expressed this to us that he was thinking about leaving the band. So we got in touch with a few people to see if they would like to audition, and it was only, I think, March of 2020 that we actually ended up running auditions. So it was March or April, sometime there. So by that point, we'd already written the album and recorded a lot of it as well. So Ethan, for the most part, is playing bass. But he is playing bass for the whole album, and he's doing backup vocals for quite a few of the tracks. But we've also got Tūranga singing on this album as well, our new bassist. So we're kind of mixing it up a little, slowly introducing him, because that's the kind of I guess transition period that we're in. And he's also playing a guitar part on one of the songs as well.
Oh, there you go, a guy with many talents.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I think it's a very mature decision to kind of incorporate a mix of like an evolution from not taking completely out what he recorded before, like procedure with both recordings, you know. I think it's a very mature decision. And talking about a new album, it's happening on the 19th of September, your second album named Tangaroa. And please excuse me if I said something shit. Please correct my bad, unexistent Maori anytime. Yeah.
Tangaroa
It's
is pretty good.
Tangaroa, right? Yeah.
Pretty bang on.
Although
There you go.
the 17th of September last year.
Good. So now I have one word in my, well, I do know another word in Maori, but I'm gonna use it at the end. I'm not gonna spoil it yet. So let's just keep talking about Tangaroa, which is coming out via Napalm Records on the 19th of September. So only a couple of weeks and a half to
17th.
go.
It's coming out on
17th.
the 17th. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, 2 days earlier. So move your asses because you need to save that money to get that album. Yeah. So you have 2 days less to do that. Good. So, guys, two albums out. It's been a while since two came out, your first album. What are the differences of between the two albums? Like, I've only had the chance to listen to the two singles that are already out, but I already feel what Lewis was saying before. Like, there's a maturity in your music. There's also some kind of changes in your vocals technique, man. Like, congrats for that. Like, I can see like a kind of a path evolution there. So, how do you guys see the difference between the two albums?
I mean, some of the songs on the first album were songs that I wrote, or that we wrote when I was 13 or 14.
Wow.
Just to put it in perspective, and yeah, the second album, it's kind of the Ahi Khan Blinded, the singles we released like over a year ago that are on this next album. We wrote those, yeah, probably 2 years ago.
Yeah, roughly 2 years ago.
But then like the rest of the songs, we kind of wrote in like a 6-month period. So it's pretty like compared to the first album, which took us 5 or 6 years to kind of compile all those songs together. The second one's definitely like much more condensed snippet of our lives and our creative output, I guess. I feel like touring overseas and just growing up somewhat has definitely just kind of changed my perspective on stuff and allowed me to write about some slightly heavier stuff and kind of put some new elements into the album, I guess.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
definitely more mature.
Yeah, as far as sorry, I was as far as like the actual kind of Māori lyric writing side of things, which is generally what I do. I've been able to kind of explore new avenues with that as well, kind of going more into traditional songwriting with some of it as well. So that's been really interesting for me.
That's great. That's great. So on the 17th of September is gonna be out. I'm definitely there. I'm 100% there. I mean, you guys impressed me and your live impressed me when you came to Resurrection Fest because you played there in the main stage, I remember. And then you came to kind of a middle big venue here in Barcelona and it was quite full. And I was just there taking some pictures and I thought the energy of this guy is hell yeah. I'm so in. So it's not only about the studio music, which always sounds nice if you got a good studio in the background, but it's always about the live and the energy. And you guys kind of give that energy and that positivity to bring to the people and seeing people just like singing in Maori, doing the haka, and just at the end of the day having fun, which is what music is about. It's just amazing. And guys, I think that people and I count myself in that group is going to be very excited to listen to the album. And you already got two singles out. One of them is Tangaroa, and the other one is Buried Underground. Is there something that you would like to say or explain about that? The only comment that I want to make it's about Buried Underground. People who's watching this video, if you haven't watched the video clip, move your ass and do it. It's at least curious to watch. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tangaroa, the title track of the album, that song's, I mean, it's pretty obvious from the music video kind of what it's about, but it's basically a song touching on our environment and the fact that we're kind of destroying the planet and destroying the ocean, which in turn will destroy the planet. And I was inspired to write that song after I went out for a surf, and it was just after a storm, so the sea had turned up a lot of stuff, and just the amount of plastic that I, saw washed up on the beach. Like in like 1 minute, I found like 20 bits of plastic. It's like,
Fuck.
here in New Zealand, the beautiful, glorious,
Clean
green net. Nah, fuck
Exactly.
no, man. So
That's the image that we get, right?
that
So
kind of,
Yeah.
that kind of, I guess, showed me like how insane the problem actually is. Because I reckon a lot of that plastic probably wasn't even from New Zealand, you know.
Yeah, well, you'd hope not, at least, but sadly, that is sometimes the case.
But yeah, buried underground. That's an interesting one.
it is.
I mean, the walk. Let's talk about the walk, because I mean, that's kind of like a joke, like an in joke that started on tour, where one of us would be, say, sitting in the green room, and someone would walk in like that, doing the big old square pose.
Yeah.
And it was just something stupid that we do pretty much everywhere on tour. It's like,
the less sleep people have, the more of that shit gets created.
yeah. So that's where that walk came from. But we decided, I guess it was like this cool and easy way for us to get fans involved in a music video. And honestly, I mean, just we're always trying to, as a band, find new ways of doing things that we haven't done before, and getting the fans involved was, I guess, something that we've always wanted to be doing, and so getting it done in that way was kind of, I guess, a fun way to introduce it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the song itself, Liz, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the song is actually about someone quite close to me who's been in and out of the psych ward with drug-induced psychosis. And he's yeah, basically never going to be the same, just because he went way too hard. And I feel like it's something that you see quite a bit in our generation. And it's yeah, we kind of wanted to portray that kind of feeling in the music videos somehow, even though it's kind of hard to, because we haven't experienced it ourselves. But just watching someone go through that, it's a pretty difficult thing.
Yeah, I guess the walk kind of translated from being this stupid thing we did on tour to, I guess, with having like big groups of people doing it, it's like these kind of, they're groups of people that you don't necessarily know, and you have no idea what their intentions are. And, when you're in that kind of state of psychosis and you're developing schizophrenia and stuff from it, I guess a lot of that could maybe feel like you don't quite understand why everything's happening and what's happening. So I guess it kind of translates well to that kind of theme of the song.
And I think that, guys, obviously I wish the best to your friend. I mean, it's a very, very hard situation to go through that I cannot even imagine, because I haven't suffered. So I think that unless you're really, really there, you have no idea what it's about, and you have no idea about the pain and the consequences to be suffering with that. And I think that you guys, being such a young band and having such a characteristic things like bringing their New Zealand culture, bringing the haka, singing in Maori and all stuff, that you also guys take the chance to make your music a message. Because you've been writing about this album about a lot of things. You've been writing about pollution, insecurity, relationships, sexual assaults. You've been writing a little bit about everything. And I think that it gives a deep message and also a clean message of what people thinks that heavy metal is about. Like people touring, people being rich. None of that is happening, guys. We are not in the 80s anymore. We're in the 21st century. Things have changed. And there are some young people talking about real things in here.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I mean, that's always been one of the big things for us is writing about things that we're passionate about. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that is going to stop with the next album or the one after that.
At the end of the day, I think you are bringing a message of reality, which at some point I think that if I would be you, to me it would take a lot. I don't even know how to start doing that. I would be completely lost. So congrats on you guys for doing this kind of stuff and bringing it up to the world. Now that you have a world to the a world, guys, you change your language. It's too complicated sometimes. Now that you have a world to the
English
world.
is stupid.
Yeah, don't even try it with the Spanish, man. It can be tricky. Not to even talk about other languages, but just let's keep it English and Spanish. Easy, yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, guys, congrats for bringing that kind of message to the world. Now that you have the chance and you have a voice out there, so well done. Gonna go to heaven. The doors are gonna be open for you
Thank
guys,
you.
and it's gonna look like New Zealand but without plastic. It's
We're
gonna
good.
be a clean New Zealand. So talking about, I'm not even going to talk about how is it to be young and being in a band. We all know that. You've been talking about it for years and years now. I would like you guys to speak for the bands that are starting, the bands that might be your age or even younger, or the bands that are even older than you but starting in music. From your perspective, guys, hope you've been touring with family, you've been like super successful at a super success age and very well deserved. What would be the message or the advice that you would give to young people who wants to start music or even people who's just trying?
Mm. I mean, first off, um, find someone in your life. It doesn't even have to be someone close to you, but find someone who understands what you're doing and what you're going for with your music. And, that person is your best friend when it comes to music. I mean, for us, it was our father. And that person's generally going to be the one who's going to push you the hardest as far as getting your music out there and seen by people. And don't be discouraged if you're doing a gig and only 3 people show up. I mean, that was us on our first gig and our second gig and third gig up until pretty much up until we started winning competitions. So don't be discouraged by any of that. I mean, it took us 11 years to get where we are at the moment. So, um,
And it was 11 years of like constantly doing shit.
yeah, I mean, I think we went through about a 2-year period of like going and playing like 2 or 3 shows every weekend, which was like this crazy, insane time in our lives. And it was like I was still going to school.
Same with me. You're like high school throughout the week, and then on the weekends go wherever to play gigs, stay up till 3 a.m., which was hard back in those days.
Yeah, but yeah, put the effort in, and pretty much don't write music for anyone else. Like, write it for yourself and what you like and what you resonate with.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm about to piss myself.
Oh,
I'll be back in
Go?
2 seconds.
Please go. That's all right. We're all human beings at the end of the day.
this inspiring message.
Just don't be in the screen. So thank you for that.
Yeah, inspiring message, and then smack bang in the middle. Love it. No,
And
yeah, I mean, it's always funny, eh? Because I feel like a lot of people that like watch interviews are generally older than us, and I never like to feel that I'm, talking down on people. But it's like, I don't know, like it makes me realize that what we've done as a band is like something to aspire to, but at the moment it's like everything's still so difficult with like even just organizing a tour at the moment, like with COVID and everything is like, damn.
Yeah, yeah, it's a hard time. It is a hard time. But I mean, at the end of the day, reality is what it is. You guys have a contract with Napalm Records. You guys have put out there 2 albums and you guys have done some kind of amazing tours. So
Yep.
you're completely allowed to have a word into this, even if people is 20 years older than you, but the reality it is what it is and we need to stick to that, and you guys have some experience there, and if you continue like that, it's going to be years and years of experience where hopefully everything is going to be more organized, less stressful, just because of the experience on your backs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Sometimes,
again, fingers crossed.
sometimes I tell my friends, back in the day, and they kind of go, ha, and they chuckle, and it's like, well, if you think about it, we're quite an old band. Like if you like 10 years or 11 years, like that's a band that's been around for a little bit,
That's true. That's actually
Yeah.
true. I mean, 11 years, and you are what, 20? So
19, 21.
21.
well, there you go. I made the perfect average, yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, you have a word into that because you've been touring, you have a brand out there, so it is what it is. And whoever who doesn't accept it, hey, you have the door there. You can take it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, congrats for your second album that it's gonna come out on the 17th of this month. And also, guys, you have the presentation of the album on the 25th, if I'm not wrong, there in your city. But after,
Yeah, that may change though, is the only thing,
oh,
because we are in a lockdown at the moment, and it's
there you go.
looking like we're not going to be able to do
We're
it.
in level 4 at the moment. Shit's got to be at level 1 for us to be able to do that gig.
Okay, so maybe the gig is gonna happen around in October, maybe something like
Yeah,
that.
we might be just shifting it along the line a little
Alien
bit, but
Weaponry Christmas special.
yeah,
Hey, that would be a great presentation. You can all dress as a little bit like Santa, and play a little bit
Oh, fucking God.
like a little bit Santa song. Come on, it wouldn't be the worst. You can be the elf.
yeah, I don't know.
We can be
I
Santa.
feel like
Looks like a nice Santa.
Christmas music is something that brings out the worst in me.
How come? Don't tell me that you're one of those Christmas haters.
I'm not a Christmas hater. It's like the early Christmas and like constant Christmas
Constant.
and like the commercialization of it that
Yeah,
I
that kind
really
of get it.
The thing that really gets me is when they get like pop artists to like sing Christmas carols and they like put way too much emotion into like lyrics about reindeers and Santa. It's like,
Dude, how are you gonna be crying about Santa, man?
it's like Santa. It means so much to me, and it's like, oh my fucking God, man.
All I want for Christmas is you. No?
yeah,
And like
That
everyone like
kind of
crying.
shit,
Oh
like,
my god.
and just the ads, like Christmas deals, like just the consumerism around Christmas. I don't know. Christmas itself, I don't mind Christmas. I don't mind the whole presents thing, but
yeah,
it's the companies that milk the fuck out of it that gets to me.
That nowadays I think it's a pure reality. You're only speaking the truth. Maybe you should write a song about this
Yeah,
for the third album. Consumism about Christmas. Write it down.
yeah.
Take the note. I'll give you the copyright, yeah? That's alright.
We'll be labeled as
Yeah,
the
that's
Grinch fans.
honestly, yeah, that's actually a good idea.
If I swear to God, if in the next album I see like a song about Christmas and criticizing Christmas and all the
It's gonna
commercialization
be
that it's
about
around,
killing Santa, okay?
it's gonna be about killing Santa. Okay, so you can mix there some Tim Burton when Jack Skellington was trying to replace Santa, candies instead of candies, you give skulls or deadheads or like rats
Yeah.
or something like that. You can make it different. Up to you
Yeah.
guys. Copyright,
Yeah,
it's all yours. Yeah.
we'll end up ruining some little kid's Christmas.
Santa's not
Dad's-
real.
Dad's gonna put the song on, and this kid's gonna hear the lyrics, and he's gonna
No,
go,
No.
Dad.
That you can't do. Come on. That you can't do. I can see Lewis already thinking about how
No.
can I tell the world, the entire world, that Santa is fake. How can I do that?
No. I think we'll save that for the death metal bands and the black metal bands. I don't think we're that bad.
There you go.
I'm planning to start a grindcore band, and I'm getting closer and closer.
Yeah, maybe it's something for Lewis's grindcore band.
Yeah.
He already has a plan. He already has a plan. So you gotta pull up with that, Henry.
I've already got like all the members lined up pretty much.
And guess who's the drum? It's Santa.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That'd be too hilarious, but I would love to see that. I'd love to see that. So I'm gonna wait a couple of years, maybe 3, yeah, and then I'll wait for a Christmas song in the next album. Take it into consideration, please. You'll make Little Spanish Girl very, very happy. Little just in terms of size, yeah, because I'm anything but tall. So then you'll make me happy. Okay, guys, and after the Christmas Santa's Killing gig, you are gonna go on tour with Gojira for quite a long time around the US. How fucking excited are you about that?
Super stoked. I mean, Gojira are massive, and we're huge fans of the band. And yeah, this is probably one of the biggest things we've done so far, or going to do so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and then we also at the start of 2022, we're going to be touring with them as like a main support, not a second support like on the US tour. We're going to tour with them as main support around Europe and the UK as well. So that's going to be a really, really awesome time there. And we're also coming to Spain for
Resurrection.
Shows. Yeah, we're doing Resurrection. We cannot wait to come back because, last time we were there, we had a really fun time. Kind of got to hang out with the guys from Lamb of God and yeah. We got fed the it's that horrible whiskey.
It's not horrible. It's fucking awesome.
I think it's horrible, but
it's mean, spicy whiskey.
Which whiskey? What's like the name?
Spain's own version of Fireball.
Is it a Spanish whiskey?
I think so.
They were sponsoring the festival. I don't know. It was like a chili and cinnamon whiskey.
Awesome.
Thunder Bitch.
Yeah.
Thunder Bitch, but that's from Jägermeister. That it has like a lot of cinnamon. It's quite strong.
Sponsoring the festival, but I really hope it's something else next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 kind of people: the ones who hate Thunder Bitch and the ones who love Thunder Bitch. I can see that you guys are in different groups, and I must say that I'm with Henry. Sorry. but I am, so it's a 2 against 1, yeah, 2 versus 1. But I must say that I do love the Jägermeister, like plain, no cinnamon, not any of that shit, just like plain.
I can't do Jaeger either.
I used to love Jägermeister, and then in Spain, you guys you mix your drinks all fucking wonky. I asked for a Jaeger and Coke, and they're like 3/4 Jaeger and then a 1/4 Coke. I'm telling the bar, whoa, stop. That's enough Jaeger. He's like, no, have more.
You're gonna play great. More.
After 3 of them, I'm like, oh. And then after literally spending 2 hours, not even joking, over the toilet bowl, vomiting up black Jaeger and Coke.
Yeah. Oh,
so
nice.
Now Jaeger's on my no-go list.
Yeah,
Jaeger is on your
list
never
years
again.
ago for me.
Yeah.
No. My secret is, believe it or not, and I'm gonna say this to absolutely everyone, and I'm pretty no one is gonna believe me, but I've never ever been drunk. That's my superpower. I know. and I'm way older than you guys, and I've never crossed that line yet. It's never too late, because all the people that I talk to and they say like, "Oh no, I hate Jaeger. I cannot do that." They've been very, very bad and sick and drunk out of Jaeger. So I've never crossed that line yet. So I still kind of love it, but I cannot do Thunder Bitch. So Lewis, next time I'll see you, I'll just give you a bottle, big bottle of Thunder Bitch. You take it on tour. You enjoy it. Don't give it to Henry because it's not gonna appreciate it.
Sweet.
And
I'll
and
keep
then
it
I'll
for
make you
myself.
happy. So, guys, we're gonna see you at Resurrection Fest. Fingers, toes crossed, everything crossed that we're gonna enjoy that bloody show because the last one was pretty damn amazing. So we're counting days for 2022 to happen. Is there anything that you would like to tell to your crazy hack Spanish fans in here?
We love you guys.
Yeah.
Love every single one of you. And for anyone who is listening who hasn't heard our music yet, go and do it. Facebook, we're on YouTube, all the major social medias. Find us on Spotify, whatnot.
iTunes, blah, 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 blah.
And it's all linked on our website, which is alienweaponry.com.
There you go, guys. Follow them on social media. Honestly, they are so talented. You gotta listen to them. It will make you feel a little bit different. It's not one of those bands that make you feel like they're okay, good try. No, it is a band that actually makes you like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. So move your asses, do that, listen to them, listen to Alien Weaponry. Tangaroa, it's going to be out via Napalm Records on the 17th of September. They're going to come back to Spain on 2022 for the Resurrection Fest. Don't miss them. And guys, thank you so much for sharing your time and your plans for killing Santa with us. Yeah?
Sweet.
Awesome. Thank you, Alba.
Thank you so much. Oh, you learned my name. Now you know a Spanish word. There you go. I'm proud of you, Henry. Thank you so much.
Zoom.